It's not like you're just hiring somebody that doesn't have a clue and you're training them from the ground up. These are people who understand the basic principles of financing, and then you're just helping them understand how to do it for your office. These are tasks that people are making $30, $40, $50, $60 an hour that you're paying that you can save a ton of money and get somebody else to do. And again, allow that person in your office to focus on tasks that really only they can do. There's a lot that you can outsource, but all these other things you can outsource.
Number 8, maybe the most effective one is immersing them into your culture. I can't say enough about that. Maybe this should be number 1, is make them feel part of your team.
Welcome to another episode of the Full Arch Advantage podcast. I'm your host, Gary Bird. I'm the founder of SMC National, where we help you create, convert, and close more full arch cases so you can grow the way that you want. And today I have a special guest, and the reason it's special is because he's going to be speaking at our Full Arch Advantage event in partnership with BioHorizon. And it's going to be August 18th and the 19th in San Diego. And he's going to be talking about how to outsource to your teams. And we're going to go how to outsource some of your team members. And some of this is going to blow your mind because there are certain positions that you think that you can outsource that you actually can. You can save a lot of money. And then that way your internal teams can focus more on the right kind of patients and getting more full arch cases. So JW, thank you so much for coming on. I'm super excited to talk through this with you today and how we're going to be able to outsource. So thank you so much for coming on today.
Absolutely. In San Diego, who doesn't want to be in San Diego, right?
Exactly. It's going to be sunny. It's going to be beautiful. So SupportDDS, I've worked with you guys a lot. And one of the things that I love that you kind of break down for people is the 6 key areas around that you can hire. So there's 6 areas that you guys have had success at dental offices. So I'd love to just work through some of those just so everybody can understand what are some of the key positions that you can outsource for.
Yeah, I think the first one that always comes to mind is our certification as a dental coordinator. We take our teams through a training program where they get this certification and they have a really good understanding of the various roles within a dental practice. And those, Gary, are really simple things, just like scheduling and phone support. Taking those initial calls, those new patient calls, take a lot of time. We can train and we can help you implement persons and team members and really specialists in scheduling phone support. There's back-end things like HIPAA compliant. There's recurring things that many of your clients are going to have, like hygiene recare, those outbound calls, as well as reactivation of payments, confirming appointments, and then auditing various things within a chart. So there's lots of roles that you can outsource. As we say, it enables you to leverage those remote virtual teams, and then you can elevate your existing team members, which, by the way, they love. So that's one really, really key role.
You want to hear something crazy? Dental marketing agencies are dead. You got that right. They're dead. Why do I say that? Well, we don't consider ourselves a dental marketing agency. We are a growth partner. What that means is we help our clients not only create opportunities, but we help them convert them and close them as well. And that is what's needed in the day and age that we live, because just getting new patient leads is not enough. You need somebody that's going to help you actually get these new patients into your chair and make sure that they're the right kind of patient for your office. Now, we put together a whole report that will tell you where dental marketing currently is, because there's a ton of changes, tons of things are going on with the market. And we broke down what you're going to need to do to stay ahead of the industry and grow the way that you want. The link is down below. Go check it out. Everything is free. I look forward to hearing from you.
Okay. And then, so you have 6 though, right? So what are the other 5 that you can outsource
revenue
for?
cycle management, is big. So any of your accounting functions, posting to your ledgers, following up on insurance payments, again, time-consuming elements. Insurance coordinator, someone who's really well-versed in not only just your insurance verifications process, but understanding the patient's information, claims, follow-up. One of our biggest roles is our director of first impressions. It doesn't take long to understand that can be a monotonous job as well. So we like to say the director of first impressions, which is that first initial impression that the new patient gets. Mention the RCM, but also some basic finance and accounting roles that you can fulfill, whether that's just bookkeeping or all the way up to a controller
and
level.
These are college-educated people
CFO.
that know how to do that stuff too. It's not like you're just hiring somebody that doesn't have a clue and you're training them from the ground up. These are people who understand the basic principles of financing, and then you're just helping them understand how to do it for your office.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Our team members are going to have a degree in an accounting background, and many of these have worked for some of the big 4 accounting firms like KPMG. So they're ready to take on roles, and they've got a lot of experience, even based on in the U.S. taxpayer kind of environment.
So
as well.
so the big companies are outsourcing too, huh? They've kind of
yeah,
figured this
yeah,
out.
they're all doing that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. That's exactly right.
All right. Is there any others that we missed? That list of 6?
Yeah, for a lot of our larger groups, there's the executive assistant / even IT help desk. So we've kind of combined some roles where they can help. I don't know about you, but I know you utilize the EAs, and that's talk about freeing up your time from that perspective, whether it's things within the office, scheduling, travel arrangements, appointments, meetings, calendars, emails, phone calls, those can really absorb a lot of time. So that's another area that we're able to fulfill.
Great. And those are all great. So these are all things, the way I look at it, these are tasks that people are making $30, $40, $50, $60 an hour that you're paying that you can save a ton of money and get somebody else to do. And again, allow that person in your office to focus on tasks that really only they can do. There's a lot that you can outsource, but all these other things you can outsource. And then what I really like is that you don't just want to outsource. So outsourcing in itself doesn't work unless you follow a plan. And I know you have the 10 success tips that you're going to be going over. Could you walk us through those just quickly, like things that people need to keep in mind as they outsource to anybody, whether they're outsourcing with you or any company out there? What are the things that I have to do as a company to ensure my success?
Yeah, and that's why we referred to what we do as insourcing. We really feel like they become part of your team, part of your organization. So it's not like someone who's truly remote, working separately, doing contracted. But yeah, Gary, we've developed 10 areas that we feel are just critical. One is hire the right person for the right role. Make sure that you're looking at their background. And you mentioned it. They've got an accounting background. People have accounting experience. Training, spend time with them to train. Make sure they understand your systems, your way, that they understand what your ROIs are. What are those things that you want them to even measure? Having a primary point of contact. It's very common that they don't understand, who do I report to? Who do I send my report to? When I've got a question, who do I go to? So establishing that primary point of contact. Communication. We hear that all the time, right? Communicate. Figure out what those roles are that you need to communicate, or what those methods are that you need to communicate. Is it Dropbox? Is it Google Docs? Do you have Slack? How do you communicate effectively? Setting clear expectations is our 5th one. Make sure your remote team member knows what you expect out of them. What are the goals? Don't just put them in that role and then say, they're just not really doing a good job. So setting clear expectations. The 6th one follows in line with that, is measuring their performance, having good reporting mechanisms for those KPIs or those ROIs that you want to keep in front of them. Another big one is evaluate, correct, praise, motivate. Constantly you evaluate, or you should be evaluating your team members in your office. Evaluate those externally, whether that's a quarterly or semi-annually or annual, but definitely give them feedback into how well they're doing. Number 8, maybe the most effective one, is immersing them into your culture. I can't say enough about that. Maybe this should be number 1, is make them feel part of your team. If you have a Wednesday morning huddle, include them in the huddle. If you have Zoom meetings, include them in those meetings. If you're rewarding them for reaching certain goals, reward them too.
Yeah,
so immersing into your culture. Number 9 is swag. I know that sounds silly. You and I talk about swag all the time, whether it's
we're always
shirts.
trading hoodies.
Yeah. And, if you can, we've got these Be Amazing shirts that I've got on now. It's how do we share those? How do we make them feel part of the team? It can be simple things as a mug or a pen or a notepad, whatever. It makes a difference making them feel part of your organization. And then the last one kind of ties in with the swag, is make sure they feel valued and appreciated. That can be simple things of little rewards. It could be little gifts that you give them. And sometimes it's just as simple as a thank you. So there are keys to success. If you want it to work, we think we found 10 keys that are important.
That's so good. And I know you're going to go more into depth into this at the event. And I'm super excited to hear your speech on this, because I know that a lot of people struggle with this. First of all, they struggle on understanding what can we outsource. So you're going to know that. And then even more importantly, once you figure that out, how to outsource and how to do it actually properly so that you can have success. And it's not, those 10 things that you gave us are not hard. I know most dental offices already have all that stuff set up for their team. It's just, how do you do it now remotely and make sure that the remote team isn't slipping through the cracks, because it's easy to do that. And then no one wins in that situation. So I'm really, really excited. In the meantime, if someone listens to this and they go, you know what, I want to start talking about outsourcing now. I want to do more full arch cases. So I need to free up my team because labor is expensive. and I need to offshore some of these tasks working with you, how do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, just go to SupportDDS.com. There's a place there right on the homepage. You can schedule a call. We can set up a 20-minute call. We can explain everything that we do, give you some pricing. And again, it's an opportunity to learn a little bit more about what we do. We'll try to learn a bit more about what you do so we can make that perfect match. So yeah, SupportDDS.com. I'd love to set up some time to work with you.
Awesome. Great job. Thanks so much for coming on today. I really appreciate it.
You bet, Gary. Looking forward to San Diego as well and seeing you too.
Awesome. See you soon.